Well, hey, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another quick chat. Today's quick chat is going to be a, a bit disturbing. So I just want to put a little warning out there real quick. And it's just going to be different than, things that we have talked about in the past. But this particular story has gone viral, right? And I didn't get a chance to talk about it on last week or towards the end of the week over the weekend. So I wanted to go ahead and touch on it now. And this case is involving a influencer by the name of Miss Courtney Kinley, ain't Clenney. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. Courtney Clenney and Mr. Christian Obumseli. Okay, unfortunately, it's being said that popular OnlyFans model ended up unaliving her boyfriend in Miami. But according to her lawyer, the lawyer is now saying that it is self-defense. So I'm gonna go through this article that I did find and give you guys a little bit of backstory, and then we'll move forward, go into some of the tweets that were dropped because the story started to pick up when really like over the weekend, it seemed, or maybe like towards the end of last week. But people were trying to get people to hear about this story, and it wasn't being talked about because a lot of people are believing that this young lady actually unalived her boyfriend and could possibly, strongly, more likely, get away with it as a blonde-headed white woman. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. They're saying that Courtney Clenney, 25 years of age, allegedly harmed Mr. Christian Abumseli earlier this month in a luxury high-rise condominium. More than a week later, okay, no criminal charges have been found. All right. Now I do remember hearing about that, girl. No criminal charges being found because Miss Girl ended up going over to like a mental institution, which was very weird because they said that she was sitting in front of the officers telling them, hey, I'm going to harm myself. 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 So they said, okay, well then, girl, let's go ahead and get you over here. All right. And let's go ahead and put you in a facility. I think you might need it. Girl, it's just it makes me cringe when I see how easily it is for you guys to put her in a mental institution. Meanwhile, I'm sitting, in my living room watching the news, listening to how a black man that has, mental issues. I believe he dealt with like I'm not sure if it was like bipolar or something, but he had a mental issue. All right, and they ended up gunning him down because they deemed him to be a threat instead of trying to resolve the issue. And that's the problem for me. It's you guys not arriving to the scene to calm situations, right? And then you're just out here just puming people. Oh God, I hate it. Now I do understand in some cases where you have to defend yourself. Got it. But in this case, that particular case, the young man, I think he may have had a knife in his hand, but he thought that his home was under attack because of his mental issues. So I just felt like a knife isn't going to harm you as much. Y'all could have tried to, diffuse the situation. But anyway, girl, I'm going on a rant. Let's get back. Let's get back. Sorry. Let's get back. Okay. Let's get back to Christian Abumseli. All right. Because it was a week away. He was a week away from celebrating his 28th birthday. And actually, as I'm doing this video, from my understanding, today is actually his 21st his 28th birthday, and this is what, April 12th, I believe. So I'm filming this video on his actual birthday. Okay. It was a week prior, just last week, when he was taken out of this world allegedly by Miss Courtney Clenney. And it's interesting that we say allegedly, but it's kind of like, should we really use those terms? Because at the end of the day, it's something that happened. Okay. And we definitely saw where there was some footage or whatnot leaked by TMZ showing that this young woman had this man's blood all over her body. Okay, so it indeed happened. And then now I'm reading an article about how the lawyer is saying that it was self-defense. So it happened. So is there much of a need to really say that? You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get back to the rest of this story, okay? And this actually took place on April 3rd. All right. Now, this happened in a Miami condominium on April 3rd. Now, it didn't start picking up until around maybe I feel like it's still picking up, honestly, but maybe like the 8th or something like that. So it took a lot of days before people started to really catch wind about everything that was going on. And it's still getting bigger, and it's definitely, the story is growing. Okay. They're saying that authorities arrived at the scene of the alleged attack just before 5 p.m. They discovered a woman in the residence with Obumseli, according to a statement from the Miami Police Department. She was promptly interviewed by detectives, but after a week and a half, no charges have been found, okay, in his passing. Like, what? Now, the preliminary investigation determined that both Mr. Christian and the young lady had been involved in some type of physical altercation that took place. And you know what's funny? I saw a video on Facebook of these three friends that were like really close friends with both Christian, also known as Toby, as well as Miss Courtney. And they were being very vocal about the interactions that they have seen between the two, and how she's the more aggressive, and how they've seen her get physical with him and actually put hands on him, whereas he has never done the same thing to her. And you know what's really interesting? I've been trying to find that video, and I could have sworn I saved it for me to come back to on Facebook, and I cannot find that video. But if y'all find it, send it to me. And I said, ooh, these are three friends, okay, that are pretty close to them, and they see the interactions and things, right, of this girl. They see how she operates, how she acts. They are in full believement, if that's even a word, which is not. But they are in full belief that this young woman did do this intentionally to this man. They definitely believe that. And I said, oh, girl, that's going to hurt your case. That's going to hurt your case. Right. But it's just interesting that I'm unable to find the video. But if you guys find it, definitely add me on the video. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. Let's see. Miss Clenney, okay, Miss Courtney's attorney, Mr. Frank Pito, identified his client as an unnamed woman to local media outlets, but asserts that she did not commit a crime because she was a victim of DV, acting out of self-defense. Baby, goodbye. I don't believe it, y'all. I'm sorry. Granted, I don't know this young man, Christian. Don't know him at all. Don't know anything about him. Okay. I definitely saw some tweets surface about the young man where he was saying very negative things about Black women and how he favored white women, which is a very unfortunate situation for him, especially at this time. You know, I don't know a whole lot about him, but I definitely believe the friends. There were more friends than, you know, from just being on the camera speaking out. There were also friends that got on Twitter and spoke out against her as well. Not to mention, okay, Miss Courtney here actually had 3 DUIs in the past. So I'm like, girl, if she has an issue with alcoholism, then I'm going to believe that she also has an issue with likely drug abuse as well. Okay. I'm definitely going to believe that. And I don't believe that's too far fetched. Okay. I was listening to another um a news outlet or whatnot, and they actually mentioned that she was. So that's just, you know, Miss Girl is a loose cannon is what it's giving me. And what's interesting is with the DUI, you know, that's not coming off your record, period. Okay, I don't know how you probably get that wiped away over the years, but initially, from my understanding, when it's on there, it's not coming off. So how is it that Dearheart was able to get three of them and not do any jail time? America is wondering. America is waiting. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. All right. So it looks like her attorney says this is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. And it grinds my gears hearing him say this. But when you're an attorney, you have to speak in the best interest of your client, whether he believes she did it or she don't. She hired him to do a job, so he got to do it to his best of his ability. And I'm cringing. And I just hope and pray that Christian's family is able to get a really good attorney. All right, to really do the proper and get the proper investigators and everything to get this case resolved. And he's immediately saying that she was defending herself. How can you just be so sure? Like, I don't even know if the police really got details from her about everything that happened, because they were so focused on her mental health and how she was feeling. And oh my God, she might harm herself. Do you know how many people of color have talked about harming themselves, and all they do is still lock them up and just put them on watch? Probably put an officer outside the jail, just watching them outside the cell, just watching them. And you mean to tell me Miss Girl was able to skip out on the plug and go straight to the mental health institution, the mental institution, or whatever you want to call it, rehab, wherever she went for a few days, and then was able to turn around and get out? Was she arrested? Was she arrested? Girl, I don't even know if she was fully charged, but let's go ahead. I mean, the police definitely took her down there, but how some articles are wording it, they're not saying like, oh, she was arrested. They just said, the police took her down to the station. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, so y'all didn't arrest her. Y'all just here ride with us, calm down. It'll be okay. Like what was said. But anyway, let's keep going. All right. Now, the family of Christian don't believe this. They disagree with this man and say this is not what type of thing that was. A lot of the friends are saying that's never in Christian's behavior to operate in that manner. Now, granted, we don't know people. We don't know how they really are behind closed doors. But Miss Girl has been getting away with a lot already. So let's keep going. Okay. Talk about privilege. All right. So, it looks like a cousin of Mr. Christian says we have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense. Okay. Toby was raised with and by a very strong family with strong morals, strong values, and he does not come from that. Period. Okay, so this is what the cousin says. Now they're also saying that Miss Clenney, who goes by Courtney Taylor online, is a popular online fans model, okay, and influencer. She has like millions of followers, from my understanding, about 2 million over there on Instagram. Not sure if she's on TikTok. I'm sure that number is higher, as well as OnlyFans. They also said once she got out, shortly after she got out from whatever mental spot she was at, she ended up posting to her OnlyFans like, ma'am, you just, mama, I just, a man put up to his, the Nahid. Okay, I'm sure y'all remember that song, mama. Ooh, okay, girl. How you go and you do something like that and then turn around and you just out and about, you doing your OnlyFans? She was caught out at a bar. Somebody put the camera on her, made her flee the scene. Like you just took somebody out of here. You just unalived somebody, and then you want to sit up here and just be la 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 la. What? Let's keep going, guys. Okay. They're saying that Miss Courtney had been dating Christian for about 2 years, during which time the couple relocated from Texas to Miami, and they indeed had their ups and downs. They also said that a week before the unaliving took place, Miss Courtney is saying that she actually kicked Toby out of the home over DV allegations. Now, it's being reported, not sure 100%. It's just interesting. So one of her neighbors is saying that they witnessed him strike her a week or so prior to that incident, or maybe it was that exact incident. So that's interesting that the neighbor would say that, not sure of which neighbor. And the neighbor could be honestly telling the truth. But when you go over and you ask the friends have a completely different different thought process on all of that, right? They just have a different response. I'm sure if it came down to them going to court, the friend's testimony would definitely be damaging, but I feel like the eyewitness is going to outrule anything that those individuals have to say. But we'll see, because it seems like the attorney is actually pushing for this case to actually not go anywhere, and just understand that she acted in a manner of self-defense, and unfortunately it led to him no longer being here. So free his client of all issues is what it looks like. Okay, they're saying in the aftermath of the incident, Perito says he and the detectives chose to have Miss Clenney, okay, who was 25, Baker acted. Okay, so Baker acted means they admitted her to a mental health facility for treatment. What the does she need treatment for? For what? Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously. Granted, I understand the young boy and the statements he may have said about black women and all this other stuff. And a lot of people are like, it's above me now and everything. But I'm still like, girl, at the end of the day, girl, that's somebody's family member. Girl, that is somebody's family member that has been unalived. And we are blatantly watching the privilege take place. The injustice take place already. They said as Courtney struggles with the pain of being a survivor of DV, cut it out. It's the way they plan her out to be a whole victim when Miss Girl was over here on her OnlyFans, back to work as usual. Girl, if I done sat up here and unalive somebody, I am going to be shooketh to my core. Come on, Mimi Faust. I'm going to be shooketh to my core. I'm not gonna be on no OnlyFans. I'm not gonna get the people anything. What? I'm on my OnlyFans and I'm out with an old man at a bar. Girl, cut it out, Miss. Let's keep going. They said the aftermath of the events that evening, we asked that the community and Christian's family allow the police and the state to conduct their independent investigation of the events. No, we're not going to let them do anything independently. They can do what they want to do, but we're going to get our own investigators as well, if possible. Are you kidding me, sir? Excuse me, why? All right. So Miami police have yet to reveal what they've learned during their investigation and whether they plan to request these charges against this girl. You do not arrive to no MFing scene. I can't. I cannot. I feel like for me, if she didn't do it, dismiss the charges, right? Dismiss them at a later time. But if you arrive there, she got blood all over her body. This man is not alive. um Miss Ma'am, she's being charged even with the minor thing until we could resolve this situation, and once our investigation is done, then we'll dismiss them. If we indeed find that nothing happened, or that you were acting in a manner of defense or whatever, then yeah, we'll drop the charges. But right now, Miss Ma'am, they are going to stand and we're going to proceed accordingly. Okay, Miss Girl didn't even get arrested, put in. Girl, I can't deal. I cannot. This is girl, let's keep going. This is very sad. Now, in the meantime, Obumseli, which happens to be Christian's family, has established a GoFundMe page for funeral costs and attorney fees. I think the goal may be like 140 some thousand, maybe. I'll have to check and see what they're at, what that is actually. Okay, so it's $100,000 for the GoFundMe, and they so far they've reached $73,809. So they have over 1,000 people that have donated, contributed to this cause. Okay, so they're going to be able to bury him and hopefully secure a really, really, really good attorney. All right. Now, looks like they're also going on to say that Christian was extremely compassionate with a desire always to uplift those around him. He did not deserve for his life to be cut short by a heinous act of violence. Okay. We will never forget his infectious smile that could light up any room, or his caring spirit. Girl, and listen, that's where they are. That is where they are. It definitely sucks that he had those tweets and things out there, and I'm gonna get to that, where his brother actually kind of addressed that and went on to say more. Okay, but prior to us actually, we can go ahead and actually get into that, because his brother is the one that started the GoFundMe, and he also had some things to say once these tweets of Christians started to spill out. And he was saying, as a family, we strongly disagree with the ignorant and repulsive tweets from my then high school aged brother that have recently surfaced. However, the tweets do not diminish our demand for a thorough investigation into his unaliving. All right. And the necessity for justice. It's been a week since my brother was taken out of here, and Miss Courtney Taylor Clenney's callous actions. Okay. Due to her callous actions. Um, what else did he say? He says they have not been met with an ounce of remorse. Yeah, she's not remorseful at all. Okay. We've seen videos of Miss Courtney kissing her dogs while covered in what we believe to be his brother's blood, and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while his brother lays, oh girl, in a morgue. Okay. He also goes on to say the bottom line is he also goes on to say that Courtney is being treated differently because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman. Within 24 hours following Toby's death, the detective on the case prematurely concluded this was not a crime of violence, but the information provided is deficient, and the lack of transparency strongly suggests foul play is involved. Courtney acknowledges that Toby did not have an item on him. She has no injuries to support her story of imminent danger. Additionally, Courtney still has yet to explain exactly what happened leading up to this incident. We have every reason to believe that him not being here anymore was the result of unwarranted and unprovoked V. All right. Now we want to see that justice be served. All right. He also goes on to say, with you or with family, you may not agree with every action or statement made, but it is my duty to zealously fight for my brother. No family should have to go through what we are experiencing. We have a long legal battle ahead of us to ensure justice is served. I need your support. My family needs your support. We cannot do this without community. Okay, so that's what he ended up addressing and what he had to say regarding his brother no longer being here and the actions of Miss Courtney. She is not remorseful, and I do not understand how they were able to blatantly say that this was a case that was not a crime. Girl, it's giving a whole crime of passion to me. But let's go ahead and keep going, because prior to this story and everything getting the publicity that it has, there were a few young ladies that took to Twitter to kind of air out Miss Courtney. Okay, so let's go into the first one, where Miss Ash says, it seems as though this story is being silenced. Courtney Taylor harmed her boyfriend, Mr. Christian, Sunday night in their Miami apartment. She's been Baker acted, so the news can't release her name. It's not confirmed whether or not she unalived him in his sleep, or if he was half awake. And this was during an altercation. What we do know is that she did jab him and took him out of here. All right. Please don't support her in buying any of her content. And as the story unfolds, we will share more. Just wanting to make sure the media doesn't make Christian out to be the bad guy. We're speaking on this because my boyfriend and I were closest to them in friendship. And after talking to their family, it seems as though they were in the dark about how toxic their relationship was and all the abuse that happened leading up to this. Okay. She goes on to say, the girl who I thought was one of my best friends unalived her boyfriend, another one of my best friends. I'm just filled with anger. Christian, we'll get you the justice you deserve. And if anyone follows or buys content from Miss Courtney, please don't. All right. She also goes on to say, also, I'm not sure if Courtney Taylor is in jail, a hospital, or at home, or with family. I do know that she has a management team that runs her socials, and that those accounts have been active. It could be her management on her socials doing cleanup, or it could be her not sure. Okay. She also goes on to say, police and news reporters have not given out the information. I'm hearing from some people that she's in a hospital, but they require a minimum 72-hour hold. Yeah, that's what happens when you go to the mental institution, girl. That's that type of energy where they hold her for 72 hours to get her mind right, then release her. But anyway, which means she can be released within the upcoming hours. If she decides to stay longer, she can. Agree. That is a mental institution. That is not no hospital. Y'all can call it a hospital all you want to, but they sent her to a mental facility. Okay. And then there was another young woman that decided to speak out as well. The Jenna Lee says, I'm concerned nobody is mentioning his girlfriend Courtney is the one that did it. She gets violent when she's angry and high on drugs. I'm concerned she got out of jail on bail. I'm concerned a white girl will get away with unaliving a black man. Okay, so that is what Miss Jenna Lee had to say. But I also have another update for you guys. I want you to go ahead and listen to the latest update from this news clip as of yesterday.
New details in the case of a deadly stabbing in Edgewater. It's been days since 27-year-old Christian Obumseli was found inside his luxury apartment.
Not too far away, his girlfriend, Courtney Clenney, was covered in blood. Tonight, Clenney's attorney is speaking only to CBS 4, insisting that his client was acting in self-defense. CBS 4's Ashley Dyer is live in Edgewater with more on her side of the story. Ashley?
Well, Elliot and Carly, Courtney Clenney's attorney says just about a week before all this happened, she removed her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, from the lease because of other domestic violence issues. But apparently, he continued coming back. Ultimately, her attorney says that's what led to this tragedy.
He was not welcome to stay. He was not on the lease, but he did make his way back up to the apartment on several occasions during that week.
On April 3rd, Courtney Clenney stabbed her boyfriend of 2 years to death. Christian Obumseli was rushed to the hospital, but was pronounced dead.
A little, disturbing to see someone that stabbed someone else, like, publicly outside, roaming around freely.
Attorneys working on this case say the two had a toxic and complicated relationship.
Kind of surprised that she was my neighbor.
Melanie Vivas and others at One Paricio all wondering the same thing. What actually happened?
Fortunately, on social media, it's been kind of viral.
As the investigation continues, the questions are piling up. But Clenney's attorney, Frank Prado, says people are pointing fingers without knowing all of the facts. He says despite the national attention this case is gaining, his client is innocent.
In today's climate, what somebody says automatically becomes a fact. We need to get back to understanding, wait for the facts to come out. We cannot rush to judgment.
Prado says since this happened, Clenney's been receiving professional help to deal with the trauma.
The incidents of that night were very traumatic, and I think almost anyone in that position, at least an innocent person in that position, would be extremely traumatized.
Now, we've reached out to police several times today, but the homicide detectives investigating this case have yet to give us an update.
All right, you guys. So you just heard the entire news clip, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I definitely, before I go, want to highlight the fact that her attorney says, I believe that any, person in that particular situation, any innocent, innocent person. Okay, let me stress that for the people that need to know. Innocent person, would definitely be traumatized. I am so glad that you said that a person that's innocent. I'm glad that you said a person would be traumatized. That is so interesting coming from you, sir, when this young woman has shown all lack of traumatization. Okay, she hasn't shown that, nor has she shown remorse either. Okay, so it seems like Miss Courtney is back to business and she's doing perfectly fine. All right, so I hope they continue to expose her over time in hopes of getting to a place where Miss Girl will be charged, and all of these details that's flooding out about her, she will have to face once she goes to trial, as well as facing the images of what she did to this young man that night. That is some girl. And you know what's crazy, when I watch a lot of these crime shows and stuff, typically when one goes to jab, 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 when they do that, boop, 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 Jason type energy, or Halloween type energy, that's a crime of passion. Okay, that's what it's giving. It gives crime of passion. So it definitely was her. And then for them to say she put him out, did she put him out? Or did he say he was going to leave? Was he planning on leaving her, or was she the one that came into the office to take him off the lease? Because, girl, y'all need to do a whole lot of investigating. And, girl, I hope the brother and them over there writing a whole lot of questions that they need answers to, okay? That's all that I have. I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about this particular story here. Go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know what you've heard about it, what you think about it, how you're feeling about it. If you knew these people, if you don't know these people, if you were familiar with them in any capacity, go ahead and hop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about this good white woman, a good blonde-headed white woman, unaliving this black man, and him being unalived by the woman that he preferenced so much. Okay, so I want to hear you all's thoughts and comments down below. Go ahead and hit like on the video if you have yet to do so. Also, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.